Yo, this hot, this the spot. There it is, pod.com. We're interviewing the best comedians, so tune in quick and get your ears receiving them. We talking about life and life to stream right to you, from the microphone right to your home, dude. Side note, this might get embarrassing, but no, don't sweat, yo, cause there it is.
Welcome to the There It Is podcast, a comedy podcast to help you find your inspiration. I'm your host, Jason Farr. Let's do this. Thanks so much for being here. Thoroughly appreciate it. And I would also thoroughly appreciate a little support. And here are ways that you can support the podcast. You can leave a review on Apple Podcasts. You can also subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and on SoundCloud if that's your fancy. And you can also like us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at There It Is Pod. Also, you can go to thereitispod.com and click on that support button and help us out if you want to spread some holiday cheer. Today's guest is awesome. She's a good friend of ours, and she's a delight. She's super duper talented and so funny. We have a really great time chatting, and I hope you enjoy listening to it. Without further ado, here's my chat with Seann Cantatore. You're just so very talented. And when I first saw you, it was improv only that I saw. Like, I didn't see anything else. And then we became acquainted, and I was following you on Instagram, and I saw a couple of, I saw that you did a lot of music too, and but it was like funny stuff that I saw first, and then I saw some old video of you like singing for real, and I was like, Justina, holy crap, have you heard her really sing? And she said no, so I showed it to her, and we were just like blown away. It just seemed like there were so many different stages of being blown away by you and how great you are.
So nice. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, you had to have been just doing stuff all your life.
Yes.
And your brother is super talented too. He does a bunch of, he can sing.
Yeah, he sings.
And he plays instruments as you play instruments as well.
We grew up, fortunately, able to take music lessons. Like, we both started when we were young because our school had a great music program up in White Plains, New York. So, yeah, I started with piano lessons when I was like 8 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually had the same piano teacher to like 10th grade.
Oh, really?
Which is hilarious because, I don't know, like now that I'm an adult, I realize like how important it is to have different teachers. But at the time, it's like, well, yep, she offers a good price, so I guess we'll just stay with her. And she was really nice, like, but after a while, like, I kind of outgrew.
I mean, you had her for like 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years old till 16. Yeah, and she was very like classically trained and an organist at a church, and an older woman. So I felt like I was ready to do something more with piano and singing, and like that's around the time, like 10th grade or so, that I started like writing songs. And
oh wow,
there was a songwriters club in my school too, which was the only reason I actually pretty much started writing songs and performing them.
So I saw you playing piano in your videos, and then I somehow missed until a couple of weeks ago when you sat in with Musical Megawatt. You play the flute. Wait, how many instruments do you play?
It's like the next time you see me, I'll be playing like the banjo or something.
Yeah, something totally, playing a lute or something, or a harp. Yeah.
No, it's really just piano and flute. Flute was the first instrument I played like in my school. So our band and orchestra and all that starts in 4th grade in White Plains, which I'm sure is similar to like a lot of other places. So I started in the band with flute, and the only reason I chose flute was because my best friend in elementary school, Laura, hi Laura, if you're listening. She chose the flute, and at first I was gonna choose clarinet.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, clarinet seems really cool. But then Laura, who we're still friends, and
close friend,
like,
you wanted to sit next to her in class. You know, that means you have to play the same instrument.
Flute, like that must be the instrument to play because Laura's doing it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was probably more just sitting next to you. And then she actually switched instruments after a little while, which is hilarious. But
did you ever learn clarinet?
A little bit.
Yeah.
In college, I started out as a music ed major.
Okay.
Because I think I just convinced myself, like, oh, I need to be a choir teacher. Like, this is what I need to do. And it really wasn't. I loved choir, I loved band, and I got to like play flute and orchestra too. Like they'll have some wind instruments come in. But yeah, and as part of the music ed program in college, we had to take like every music class, every instrument class. So
wow,
it was very hard. I mean, clarinet was hard just getting used to like the reeds.
Right, that is very different.
Yeah,
because you have to like soak them for a little bit, or
yeah, like I mean, we didn't even get into that too much, like, because I think they just wanted us to have like a general understanding of each instrument.
So drums, piano,
yeah,
some string instruments, I'm sure.
String was the hardest.
Yeah.
For me, because
which string was it? Like violins or guitar?
Violin, yeah.
Okay.
I took a guitar class too, but that was like not part of my major. For some reason, they didn't have us learn that. And guitar has always been kind of like daunting to me. Like,
yeah.
I've taught myself like just knowing.
You know some chords.
Yeah, like knowing theory really helps. Right. Like especially piano. Like I feel like knowing piano helps you with any instrument. It helped me with flute. I'll literally like picture the piano in my head as I play scales like on the flute.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because
it makes a lot of sense. Everything. It's all there.
Yeah.
You know, it's all there, and you can see the space between notes when you're saying like, "Oh, I want to play in this key." So that helps. That does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, the visual of it is so helpful as opposed to like guitar. I feel like I'm like craning my neck trying to like look at, and then my fingers hurt.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. So violin was definitely the hardest, and also was like so many squeaky noises and very hard to listen to myself play it.
Like your water bottle.
I like my water bottle.
With the cap on the water. This is we'll demonstrate.
Okay, so it's closed, and then that's my water bottle.
And also learning to play some violins.
Yep. Never again.
I never learned violin. I learned saxophone in junior high, but didn't stick with it. I did it like 2 years or something like that.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah, I did it 7th and 8th grade and really enjoyed it. But I do wish I had taken like I wish I had a piano teacher. I wish I had done that, because that's something I wish I could just have ingrained in me.
Right. Hey, it's never too late. I was talking to Justine.
Yeah, she wants to do it. Yeah,
piano lessons. So.
No, I want to as well. And I've I don't know. I did take a voice lesson once, and she was. I didn't fully understand what was happening on the piano. Only kind of did, and I wish I understood it better.
Like what she was playing.
Yeah, to like get me the warm ups. Yeah. So, oh well.
No,
you're right. It's never too late.
I can help you guys. Do you have a keyboard here?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
It's back home.
You should get like a cheap keyboard, or if it's an easily travelable.
I don't know that it is. I just have what's on the iPad.
Oh,
but that's not good to play on.
It's also like so much smaller.
It's so small, yeah. It's like, how could you really play in this?
Yeah, no way. Yeah, Craigslist or any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, $25 or something like that.
Maybe even free cycle if you're real lucky.
Free cycle. I love it.
It was like, I'm just getting rid of everything.
Yes.
So yeah, your family. I mean, well, I know you and your brother are super musically gifted, and it sounds like you've just been doing it your whole life. Yeah. Are your parents? Your parents are. This is the thing about knowing Seann. You're gonna meet her whole family.
Yes.
Because I've met your parents. I've met your aunt.
Oh, yep.
I may have met a grandparent. Just to go into your shows.
Definitely not a grandparent.
There was not a grandparent.
Well,
there?
they passed away. But,
I'm sorry. Okay.
Hey, but if you did, that would be cool.
Okay.
Oh,
it might have been no.
Great aunt or uncle, maybe.
There was something. It might have been someone else who was at a show who's like grandparents. I don't recall.
Maybe. Oh, no, I can't think.
Or somebody's mom.
Someone's.
And it was.
Oh, Sarita's mom.
It might have been Sarita's mom, that I'm thinking of. And,
so sweet.
Right. And she is a grandmother, just not yours.
Yes.
A lovely woman. But yeah, it's just like, they're all the best. Your parents are so sweet and nice. But I don't get the impression that they are performers, even though they are funny.
Yeah.
What do they do? Like, why did you two get this bug so much? Did they just instill that in you some other way?
So yes. So it is interesting to think about. Like my mom is an art teacher. So both my parents are artistic, like in different ways. So my mom. At first, she was a graphic designer, like when me and my brother Alex were growing up. She was doing like freelance graphic design. She's also a painter. So such a good painter.
Mm-hmm.
Like she should do it more because they're like up at their house. I have some of her paintings. Then like when I was around 5, I think she went back to school to get her master's in art education. So now she's an art teacher.
Very cool.
And she also has a wonderful voice. Like, she won't say it, but I've heard her sing, like, we've sang songs together, sung songs. Yeah, like, she has a great voice. And then, so my dad, he sings, like, he sang in his church choir. Like,
okay.
With my grandpa, with his father, and our last name means singer in Italian.
Lately, I've been getting really amazed at what last names mean and how they can relate to the person. Because,
that's pretty cool.
There was somebody famous, where their last name meant like I'm blanking on who it is, but their last name meant something like, says stupid things without really thinking about them. That's a really bastardized version of the definition. And it was like an actor who has a tendency to do that. I was like, what in the world?
That is so specific also.
Right. It's like how that can happen.
Yeah. Hey,
I did recently look up what my last name meant. Like today I looked it up and it is not as accurate. It's This is from some surname database. Mm-hmm. So far is of Anglo-Saxon origin.
Okay.
And which, we all know why. And originated either as a nickname for a powerfully built or strong man or a lusty man. Or as a metonymic occupational name for an ox herd. So,
what does this word mean?
Metonymic or metonymic? I've never heard of it. That's why I don't know how to pronounce it.
But for a herd of ox? Is that what
yes. Yeah.
Do you have any experience with ox?
No.
I feel like the first one is the most accurate. What is it again?
Strong. Powerfully built or strong man.
Yeah. See, they don't say...
Or lusty man. Now that part, I guess, is a little more accurate. No. But strong, built man. I'm not The Rock.
But, hey, you have biceps, I'm sure. Okay. You have bis and tries. Listen.
But your name is very accurate to you.
Yes, it is very lucky. I think I will always keep my last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
would be great if you met someone named Cantatore, and then you don't have to worry about that argument.
That'd be cool, yeah. I gotta make sure they're not related first, though. Like distant. No, thank you. But yeah, so wait, what was I gonna tell?
We were talking about your dad.
So my dad sings, and he actually used to take. He and my mom took piano lessons with my piano teacher after I started, which was very cute. And then my dad started taking voice lessons with my voice teacher in high school. So it was really cool to see, like, well, they're the reason, like, I was able to take lessons. And then that inspired them to also take lessons, which inspired me because they, like, had that much interest in it and doing something new in their 40s or 50s, which was, So it was...
People don't realize that you can actually... It is a skill that can be learned. I mean, I think what people think is they see somebody famous for singing and then they hear, like, voice lessons. You'll never be that. And it's like, that's not... That person isn't there because... They, for one, took voice lessons. And secondly, they're famous because of the quality of their voice, not the fact that they can sing so well necessarily. Like Celine Dion, great singer, a lot of technique. Also, the sound quality of her voice is just better than the average singers.
Yeah.
So that's why she's so big. She, like, people can say she's cheesy all they want. She is an amazing singer.
I cannot understand how she did, like knowing about the voice. It's like, it still blows my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like everyone's voice is so different.
Yeah.
And it's cool, and it's also frustrating. Like, sometimes when I'm practicing singing, I'm like, oh God, like, this is... your voice is affected by all kinds of things. If you're talking too much that day or that week, if you're, I don't know, if you're, like, yelling in a loud bar or something.
Little stopped up.
Yeah, it's like things that I always think about, kind of, and like stress about. Because I also use...
Are you also a soft talker because of that?
I am.
Because sometimes you can be a soft talker.
Oh my God, thank you for noticing, first of all. I am such a soft talker. And it's so strange because I know how to project, like, as far as singing, like, I wouldn't say I'm a soft singer. Like,
Yeah, you've got a very powerful voice.
Thanks. I can... There's dynamics, sure. But yeah, for the most part, like, if someone listens to, like, one of my songs on Spotify or something, it's like, oh, that doesn't... A lot of people will say, that doesn't sound... Like, I would never have thought... I was like, yeah, because I'm, like, whispering all the time. People have to say what, like, 3 to 5 times. And I guess that's part of it, is that I like to, like, preserve my voice. I love going to... If I'm going out with friends or something, I love going to a soft, like, music, like, no noise.
I like those places too, because I lose my voice very easily in a bar.
Yeah, it's hard for me to... I might just be, like, the fear of hurting my voice that makes me, like, quote unquote, not able to speak loudly. Sometimes I go, talk up here. That does cut through the noise more, because everyone's kind of, like, shouting.
Right, I can see that. Yeah, it's like a real monotone droll that's generally happening in a bar.
And usually I feel like I'm a pretty monotone speaker. Like, right now I'm just like... But at a bar, that's when I bring in a little British, maybe, if you will. And it cuts through. It's like, and it's easier on my voice.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's, like, kind of operatic.
While we're talking about this...
Yes.
So, there's so many times when talking to you, especially when I was getting to know you, you know it's coming.
Oh yeah.
The accent, the like, what? It's a New York accent that's different than your. It's not a White Plains accent.
No, it is not.
What is it, Yonkers? Like, what is the...
It's, I guess, Long Island.
Long Island, yeah. So where does that come from, and why does it slip in so often?
It really does.
It's adorable. I'm not criticizing it.
No.
It's endearing.
So I'll start from way back when this thing started. So in high school, my friend and I, this is my theory. So my friend and I would like speak in British accents sometimes for fun in high school. And like I guess that was a fun thing to do for us. And then in college, I kind of at that point it had like the British / kind of Australian accent, sort of like fused like into my regular speech.
Oh, because you're goofing around with it so much.
Yes, that it becomes so it's.
It was
most
the second
of the time,
nature to be.
Yeah, it was like subconscious, and I started realizing this. Obviously, I would catch myself sometimes when that would happen, but I noticed it more because so many people, as I was meeting, like basically all new people at college, because I didn't really know too many people from my high school who went there. They were like, "Oh my God, I love your accent!" Like very like passionate about how I spoke.
And you're like, "What?"
Oh my God! So one time, the best time for me was when I was in line for something, and I was talking to my friend, and some other girl in the same line heard me and said, like, "Where? Like the accent is so nice. Like, where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh no, probably like this. No. I'm from New York. It's." And then she stopped and like went pale, and she was like, "Oh, so you're lying?"
Oh no.
And I was like, "What?" And then I started questioning. I was like, "Am I a fraud? Am I a phony fraud?" And so that still lasted, though, of course.
Right. Because it still happens.
Well, yeah. So
but it's just it's a
Brooklyn,
fun,
sort of.
Right? Oh gosh, yeah.
I don't know when that happened. I guess it was in the past year or so.
There's so many Brooklyn people I meet, and they are old school. Like my landlord.
Oh yeah.
Old school Brooklyn, very old school Brooklyn accent.
Thick accent.
It's great.
I love it.
The old school Brooklyn accent is so great. It is so great.
I need to master that.
Oh, I can't even. I could. I love it though.
It's like really drawn out. Is that kind of?
So that's one I've heard, but the ones that I'm thinking of are it's almost like Joe Pesci in a lot of things.
Okay.
It's sort of like that. He sort of sounds like Joe Pesci without the anger. Yeah. Like a real happy Joe Pesci is what he sounds like.
Oh man, I have to do my research on the different New York accents. It's so interesting to me. I
should talk about it with a previous guest, the accent coach that I had on.
Oh, sweet!
It was a very cool episode. Gosh. He should. I'm going to tell him to listen to this.
Oh my God! I'm going to ask him. I'm going to listen to his.
You should, and I'm going to tell him to listen to this one so he can hear your voice.
This is how I sound usually. Oh my God! Wait, can I tell you a quick, better story than the one I just said?
Yeah.
About accents. So in this past summer, I met. I did like an improv camp in Utopia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Improv Utopia.
Yeah, and
I have a friend who was at that. A couple friends. Well, we got to talk about this. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of magnet people went too.
It was non-New York people I'm talking about.
Oh,
we got to talk about this.
Okay. Oh, I love when like connect to that.
Yeah.
So this was in Ireland, and you're meeting all these people from different parts of the U.S. and different parts of the world, like all different countries too. So I this was back in like July, and just a couple weeks ago, one of my friends that I met there, who lives in England, but she's from US, doesn't matter, she stayed at my apartment, and one night, like, she was visiting for something, and she stayed, one night we were talking, and I guess I started speaking just like this, like in my, I guess, normal voice, who knows. And she was like, I guess, oh no, wait, no, I'm telling this totally wrong, I'm sorry. I was talking to her and my roommate, and somehow we got talking about accents, and it came out like, I had just said, I kind of commented like, we are like, oh, it's just strange because this isn't my real voice, and it's a weird thing. She's like, wait, what did you say? Speak like that again. And I spoke like my normal self, and then she was like, what is going on? What is that voice? Wait. And she thought that my real voice, because I guess I spoke in the Brooklyn, like whatever Long Island accent, like this. Accent. I guess every time I spoke to her at the camp, I spoke like this. And she thought...
When people meet you, I think that's what happens. That's the voice that you hear.
That's wild to me. Because in my head, it's like so clearly like... Well, actually, no. I don't think about it, though.
It's so like...
God.
Just when I didn't know you super well, it was only like very subtle.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it would get real big. Oh, yeah. Depending, I think, on the circumstances.
Definitely.
I'm excited about something. Yeah. And then I started hearing your real voice, and I was sort of like, wait a second, what is happening? Like,
I don't know.
And then I would hear it bigger. I'd see you again, and you would talk in that Long Island accent in such a thick way that I would be like, what?
Especially like at the shows, like when I'm hosting and stuff.
Yeah.
So true. It's like, I don't know why I'm shocked, but she said she was like disturbed by my actual voice. And she even said that she told
like
her friends,
your voice, all of them.
Oh, which one? She told her friends back in England, she's like, oh my God, guys, I met someone like a true New Yorker. She talked like this.
That's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny to me.
I don't know when I think about people with a Long Island accent or something, I don't think of people like my age. Like I think of like older people, men or something. So it's like...
I am totally with you on like doing voices to the point that it becomes second nature, because my brother and I have always had voices that we do to each other of our stuffed animals that we gave like character and name to, and we have one, this Big Bear. Big Bear is kind of like a cantankerous teddy bear, and always like kind of chastising. We'd sort of chastise each other in the voice.
Okay.
And we kept doing that. And sometime when I was in like college and visiting where he was, it was like early one morning, and he like woke me up. He jostled me to wake me up or something, and it was like too early to me. And apparently, I have no recollection of this. Apparently, I just looked at him and just in the Big Bear voice went, "Come on, Trey," and then rolled back over to sleep. And he said later when I got up, he told me that I did that, and I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But it was just like in that sleepy stupor.
It's your true self. Deep
true
down,
self is this Big Bear.
What's his name?
Big Bear.
Oh, Big Bear. I was thinking Mr. Bear, which is an
improv team at Magnet.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm totally with you on how voices can just creep in when you don't realize it or intend for it to. Mm-hmm. Especially maybe even the more comfortable you get. It just depends. Yeah. I had to ask about that.
No, I'm glad you did.
I mean, it is something that everyone notices about you, because at your shows that you do, the monthly show that you do, everyone who's guest hosted is attempted at least doing that voice, or flat out was doing an impression of you. So
my brothers.
Yeah, your brothers did
and
a great
Bobby.
one, and Bobby, yeah, just like everyone doing an impression of Seann, which is just in a Long Island accent. Oh gosh,
strange.
That's your true self. It's your true self now. It's a Long Island.
I think it's just part of me. Yeah.
When did comedy become a part? Because obviously music started early, but when did comedy come into your life?
So I started... Well, I always loved making people laugh, like, since I was a kid. And part of that, I think, like, the inspiration of that was definitely from my dad, because growing up, like, he would always be doing... He still does, like, different voices and just weird things, like making up songs all the time, and basically like just talking to himself sometimes. Like, I don't know how to even fit that into a short story, but yeah, so from there, like he, just seeing how he always made people laugh, it just kind of got ingrained in me, and also just like being a complete weirdo, like being comfortable being a weirdo,
right?
And that helped me kind of develop my own humor. Like after mimicking him for long enough, then I like use that, and yeah, obviously as you get older, you become more of your own person.
Right.
So then I did musical theater throughout middle school and high school, and so that was like kind of comedic roles, like getting more comfortable in like comedic roles. And then in college, I was gonna go for musical theater, and then at the last second, I was like, no, I need to be a choir teacher. I need to, like, this is like, I can't make a living from musical theater. I'll never, you know, at 17, just not knowing what I'm doing at all.
That's the crazy thing kind of about college is like, hey, person who hasn't really figured out everything yet about even who you are, decide something for the rest of your life.
Jesus, seriously.
It can be tough.
It was tough, yeah, because I found myself in college, like, just kind of regretting, not so much now, but then I was really regretting not doing musical theater, and I got involved in this, like, class, so at least I had a little bit of outlet for that kind of thing. And then once I graduated I was at Temple in Philly. From there, I like eventually moved back home for a couple years with my parents, and that's when I started improv. And actually, I don't know if you know my friend Casey. Do you know Casey Blake?
Yeah.
Recognize him. He and I worked together as bartenders, like while I was living at home, and he had mentioned, he's like, yeah, I just like started taking this improv level 1 at Magnet Theater. I never heard of it, and I was always interested in improv just from doing like theater games at like whatever musical I was in or whatever. He was like, you should really do it. Like, so I did the free intro class, and it was with Megan Gray, and I loved it. So then I was like, oh, I gotta sign up for level 1. And then from there, like, that just, as any person who's taking classes at Magnet could say, I'm sure, like, that just opens so many doors. And then if you stick with the program, which I'm really glad I did. It's just, like, improv wasn't, like, I was not familiar at all with improvising. Other than just, I guess songwriting is sort of improvising anyways, and like making people laugh. But it was really great to do that on a stage, like, and just that being like a consistent part of my week was really cool. And then from there, like, meeting so many different people and getting to know them, and like you start doing their shows, they do your shows, and then it's like, I guess I just feel like inspired now, especially to do more collaborations with people, and now I'm doing like cabarets, which is a mixture, I guess, of musical theater and sort of stand-up a little, because you're doing like kind of some storytelling, like in between songs, and I don't know. There's so much to say.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's a lot of stuff that you're getting involved with and doing, and I think it's a great thing because there's so many different sides to you about what you're capable of doing. So getting these other opportunities to just try on different things and do that for a little bit is really great. And it's got to be edifying as well. Are you looking into musical improv at all?
Yeah, I'm actually taking level 3 right now.
Oh, okay.
So our class shows are coming up in December.
Okay.
That's been real fun.
Yeah.
I was like a little nervous at first to do musical improv. I don't know why. Like, because I guess I was just like, oh, I need to I need to like not sing in my real voice because I don't want to be like a person who sings a lot, like singing in their real voice. You know, like
how do you mean?
I don't know, like it's like in class sometimes, like I have to do a character voice when I'm singing, or else I'm not, because it's almost I try to sound not pretty, because then if I sing like I normally would, for like in my band or something,
right?
Then it's like, oh, she's trying to be like sound so good.
Oh, because of the context of comedy.
I guess I
could sort of see. Yeah, I wonder.
Overthinks shit. No one cares.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think for Justina and I, or Justina and me, for proper grammar of the sentence structure I chose. For Justina and me, when we went to musical megawatt shows, we were just blown away by the people who had great voices. Were the people who were like you or Shannon Krowicki, but this is before we knew either of you. I guess it was like Lane Quaderis and then like somebody else who I don't recall her name. I can picture her face. She was on a team with Lane. And they just clearly had real training at singing. Mm-hmm. And they just had big, powerful voices, especially the one I don't know the name of. And so if you're listening, congratulations. But seriously, like, no one would, or no one should, I don't think, criticize somebody for being good, like being technically sound at musical improv. But I can sort of see what you mean, because I think maybe there's not time for it sometimes. Because like Shannon, if you watch Jim perform, her team Jim, you'll think, oh wow, she's got a really great voice. But then you see her do a serious piece, and you go, "Wow, she really has something." Like going, like so you know that she has a good voice from watching her do musical improv. But when you see her do a real piece, that's when you really see her shine,
right?
As a singer,
yeah, so true. Because it's musical improv is more like
you're still making jokes, right? You're still trying to like come up with something on the spot, so maybe it's a little harder to put the same amount of gusto into it. Yeah. But then also like there's not time to do a bunch of runs and like plan all this stuff
for you to show off like how well you can sing.
But if you have a big voice, you have a good sounding voice, just do it. Like just throw that.
It's
but sometimes like the seriousness, like you did this funny song at your show, La Af at Loren, that was about stink ass breath. Oh yeah. And that song was something where it's like people can hear how good of a singer you are in it, and that kind of helped make the song even funnier. Is that it sounded like soulful and like serious, but then you're saying stank ass breath. It was so funny.
Oh, I love that. Like, the contrast. I want to do more songs like that, where it's like you're talking about something like just
super
really,
silly.
Yeah, like so dumb. And it's also like mean. I don't know. Like someone mentioned to me, like, well, this is offensive to people with what's it called? Halitosis.
Halitosis? Well, that's not what you were talking about. Oh, they were kidding? Okay, good.
But thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, what if someone...
Well, I mean, it's just a joke of somebody who ate something with a lot of onions and then like got in someone's face. Right, yeah.
Anchovy sorbet.
Right, you're just talking about like, hey, hummus breath.
Right. Yeah.
This doesn't smell great. That's not against any particular people, other than people who have stink ass breath.
Yeah.
Because they ate something. I think one of the things too that you learn, like at least I learned as not a musical person, but just a lover of music from Lonely Island, is that taking a serious approach to ridiculousness is so funny. Because there's so, like Lazy Sunday, it's like they're doing hardcore rap and they're literally just talking about waking up late on Sunday and going to see the Chronicles of Narnia.
Right,
it's
the Chronicles of Narnia.
Right,
yes.
Just so absurd, but yet so hard. Like if you put in so many of their songs, if you put real lyrics like serious lyrics in there, but performance is the same, then it's like, oh, this is a real song. Right. The only thing is different between the two songs is not the performance. Mm-hmm. It's how stupid the lyrics are.
Very true.
So that's a great thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like a little like a piece is no longer missing as far as like doing musical comedy now more often. Even if it's like a cabaret where it's like I'm not performing my original songs. But like I can still fit in some comedy during like bantering and even like during some of the songs, like like I have this story that I told before singing a very serious song from Waitress, and but then like at the end of the song I brought back
the reference. It's on your Instagram.
Yeah,
we saw it on your Instagram. Yeah, like because there was some reference and everyone laughed in the audience, but I didn't get the reference.
Oh, right, because it was like just a little clip.
Right.
Yeah, about Craig's foot. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't follow, but I was just like, Craig's foot. Okay, well, she sounds great.
Yeah, I should post the whole thing. Well, it's on. I think I posted the whole thing on Facebook. Fartbook.
Fartbook. So it doesn't. I don't get the impression that you are spreading yourself thin across all these things. I feel like they're all giving you life in different ways. Like, going for improv, playing at the musical improv shows, playing the flute at it. Doing cabaret, doing your own comedy show, doing your serious music show. Serious being just like your original music. How do you approach all of that so that it still remains fun for you and like enjoyable?
Yeah, like as far as doing like a bunch of
doing so many different things. Yeah.
Yeah, I am currently trying to figure that out because I have. This is kind of a new thing for me to be, or it's not new for me to like be busy, but just to have a bunch of different focuses. Lately I've been thinking like, is it too many focuses? Because I don't want to like half-ass any of it. So right now I'm trying to think about like, well, obviously making money is something I need to do. So when I think about like so I don't have a day job. I'm a musician.
Yeah, entertainers, it's
same. And so I'm lucky to get.
It's a million side hustles that we have to do. Yeah.
Exactly. So, so like I'm thinking, okay, well, the things that I love to do that I know I can make money from, like, that I have contacts for and, can get gigs through, is like playing music, like cover gigs. Like I play at a restaurant every month in White Plains, and so it remains fun for me because it's so many different things. Like I do sometimes get stressed about having so many different like commitments to things and like keeping track of all of those. But I've never been someone who like feels content in one job. Like, like I've never had a 9 to 5. Not saying that's the only type of consistent job you can have, but that's like to me.
It's a traditional one, yeah.
Yeah, like picturing myself in an office setting is very strange to me. And you can be creative. You can have creative jobs in offices too. But
right.
Just thinking of like what my skills are, like I wouldn't have a creative job in an office setting. I don't think. I'd be like inputting numbers, and then same kind of thing with like I worked at a coffee shop for a long time. Just different like kind of customer service jobs, and even though it's like interaction with other people, after a while I was like, well, this is taking up all of my time. when I get home, I'm exhausted. I'm not putting any effort into creativity.
Right.
So now that I'm putting only like my efforts into creativity, I guess I've just what's it called? Confirmed that that's like what I need to be doing, because I feel more fulfilled right now than I have like working any other jobs. And even though it's super hard, as you know, to like work for yourself, like to freelance, and I feel like I'm learning a lot, and I'm like taking classes for like auditioning stuff because I want to get into commercial acting and more just like on camera acting stuff. So one of many things that I'm trying to learn.
Another additional thing, yeah.
But yeah, like it's more of I'm thinking of it more as a learning experience, all of these different things, even if it's not a class. Just like I learned a lot just by performing at that cabaret that I did last week, and like felt like at home on the stage, which was like a really good sign to me. So I think doing so many different things can help, is definitely helping me like figure out what it is that I in the future would want to like really hone in on.
Yeah. I could see that. That makes a lot of sense, because it's all exposing yourself to like what's going to work for you, you know?
Yeah.
And I think also it must also be helpful that when you pivot to a different activity, it's still creative. So therefore it ends up being helpful overall to all of your creative endeavors. Whereas if you pivoted out of creativity, then it can just sort of like make you go back to square one, and then you have to ramp up again to get back into the creative mindset.
Yes.
That could be tough.
It's a very good point.
Yeah.
I've done that before, and it's hard. It's like you get so used to, like I was working up in White Plains, as I said, like as a bartender. I was like, oh wow, I'm doing this now, and then when I got involved in improv, it was like, kind of starting from the beginning, and like, I mean, I'm meeting so many people. It's like, it was great, but it's like I can't do that every time, like
right,
or else I'll just constantly be trying to, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, ideally, you're able to like work something during the day that pays the bills, and then do stuff at night that you need to be able to do. And some musicians are able to find. I just had on a musician who, years ago, before he could support himself with music alone, he was working in like a daycare during the day to pay the bills, and then gigging at night. Yeah. Which is great if that's, if you have opportunities like that. But when you have irons in a lot of different fires, then it's like, all right, some of these irons need to start paying the bills so that I can just keep the other irons going. It's just, it's I feel like now more than ever, there's more opportunity for that to work, but that doesn't mean it's easier for it to happen. Yeah. It's just still more like, oh, luck has to still strike me.
Seriously. Yep. And just constantly trying, like, trying for whatever you can get. I mean, maybe not whatever, because, like, there's some gigs I'm like, do I really want to do a background acting gig?
Yeah, I saw something today. It was like, audience member, $50. And it's like, okay, how long? Oh, that much? Just the whole day?
Oh, no.
For $50?
That's like, is it worth it?
I don't think that's going to be worth it. And then what's something else I saw recently that was like, why would this be beneficial to anyone? Right. I can't remember. You see weird stuff like that all the time when these casting sites. And I submit to things that I submit the stuff every day. Thankfully, there's so many opportunities, like I was saying, and if you can get those off the ground, the better.
Oh, yeah, I hope. Hey, no, I'm not hoping. I'm trying. I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's, I got a lot of people on my side, too. As you said, my family's so supportive.
Super supportive.
And just like you meet so many people, the more you perform, as you know, like the more people you meet, you never know. Like I last week just met a man who I still need to call. Gosh darn it, I put it in my calendar, I forgot. He like works at or manages like a library up in Connecticut. And he happened to be at the restaurant I sing at, and so now I have another gig from him.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean that's what does it. There was some you never know who's out there because I just shot something and a producer who's working on it was like, "Yeah, I remember when I saw you audition. I said, oh, I've seen him perform. He's great. He can do this. Like I've seen him do improv. He can do this." So it was kind of like, okay, I had no idea he was in the audience.
That's amazing.
You just never know who's there. So, always be 100%. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to put pressure on it.
Make this your best show yet every time.
But it is like, like where opportunities can come from are just so random.
Yeah.
And you can't plan it. Yeah. Only thing you do, I guess that's why they say being prepared when opportunity comes is the best thing. You don't know when opportunity is going to come. You get yourself out there for those opportunities, but you have to be good when that opportunity comes. I mean, that's the thing that I always kind of laughed about at the auditions during American Idol. And there are people who would be begging to get on. And it's like, but you can't sing. You don't understand what being in key is. Yes. And you're saying you want this so bad. And it's like, if you wanted it so bad, you would have studied it. Yeah. You would have done the work to be prepared. They have to know, right? Or do they just hear a different voice when they sing? I don't know what it is. Who knows? It's, but... And then always like people who are successful is like, I just got lucky. And it's like, it wasn't just that. Like you were also good when people saw you.
Not like they're just like lounging on their couch all day. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's someone called me up and said, hey, you want to be on this TV show? Nope.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things you can't really plan for. I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but Jonah Hill, he got found basically because he saw Seth Rogen in a movie theater. They went to go see one of the Wes Anderson movies. And this was after either Freaks and Geeks or Undeclared. And he just sort of leaned forward to Seth Rogen and said, hey, I thought you were great on that show. And they just struck up a friendship. And Seth Rogen told Judd Apatow about Jonah Hill. And so they brought him in to audition for 40-Year-Old Virgin. You're like, yeah, we'll put him in this. What? And then it's just that small part where he just like is trying to buy some shoes at eBay. Mm-hmm. We sell it on eBay store. And they made him, Judd Apatow says, we made him improvise just to scare him. Like we just kept like putting him out there for it and not cutting just to mess with him. But he kept like delivering each time they did a cut, and he had these like funny lines, and they didn't even think it was going to make the movie, but it tested really well. The scene tested really well, so they just kept it in the movie. Oh, that's cool. And then like they were like, this kid actually is really good. If Jonah Hill was no good, he still would have been in that movie theater. He still would have leaned forward and said, hey, Seth Rogen, I like your work. But if he couldn't deliver, then we wouldn't know who he is. There are tons of people who meet Kanye West or whoever and say, like, oh, I want to be a rapper. But only the good ones are the ones who you hear about. Like, there was somebody who met him, some rapper met him and said, I want to be a rapper. He's like, oh, just spit something for me now. And the guy did, and then he, like, got signed because he was good. But that's not the first person who's bumped into him saying that. And most of them probably couldn't do anything. So, it just... Yeah. Who knows when opportunity is going to happen, but you better be prepared either way.
Always warmed up. My voice is warmed up at all times.
Well, you see it, maybe that explains why so many people sing in the subway. No, it's...
Hey, I've thought about doing that before. But you know what?
I have so much admiration for people in the subway station who are like doing their dance moves, like they're practicing their dance moves or like doing their whatever voice exercises they need to do, because that takes a lot of courage to look or sound like you're out of your mind in front of people. And like New Yorkers don't care. They just like ignore it. It's like, oh, they're not gonna hurt anybody. They're just singing.
Yeah.
It just.
I feel like some people make their living from busking. Right,
but I don't even mean the buskers. Oh. But those, it takes a lot to busk. Yeah. But I just mean the people who are practicing, because they're not trying to perform for anyone else. They're like. Yeah. I haven't seen too much of the singing, but I have seen dancers like
just warming up.
Like they're just in their head and they're just kind of looking at the ground. They're kind of like going through the dance moves. Mm-hmm. They're not dancing for fun. They're like clearly trying to work out a routine. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can't believe they have that guts. Yeah, they have some guts.
On the subway before, but like I do it really quietly.
Right.
Or when it's like a screech happening, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have yet to do voice exercises on the train, but I should.
It's liberating, even if you do it quietly.
I should really do it, but I'm just like, there's so many stories you hear of someone saying like, oh, I saw so-and-so actor or actress on the street and they were crazy. They were talking themselves. And I was like, they literally could have just been working out lines. Right. That's so much more likely than they're mentally ill. Mm-hmm. It's really just more than likely that they were trying to memorize lines or doing a voice exercise. Mm-hmm. But
quick to judge.
Right.
People are so quick.
Right. Well, I can't believe it, but somehow we are at the end of the episode.
Oh my goodness. No, I do believe it because I feel like my storytelling needs work.
No.
This is
I do want to take Adam Wade's storytelling class, but I need to get him on the podcast.
You took it, you said?
I need to.
Oh, yeah. I've thought about doing that as well. Because I like to be able to deliver a good story without so many without so many, what am I saying? What am I talking about again? Mm-hmm. My mind is
Where
blank.
Is this going? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good storytellers, they have a knack for knowing like what's worth telling when they just I guess this thing like, oh, how's this story end? I guess that's the thing you got to start with, maybe if you're
start at the end.
Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily mean start at the end.
Oh, I see.
I just mean like think about how the story ends, and if that's the funny part, then you tell the story. Mm-hmm. But if the like funny part was just like the beginning, that the ending
like
it's probably
Ryan stories most of the time.
It's probably feel like it's mine. Where I'm like, this doesn't really this didn't build to anything.
Yeah. Yep.
But nevertheless. We're at the end, and we need to create something together.
Oh, right. I forgot. Oh, my God. Okay.
So what should we create together? Because we've been talking about a number of different things.
Right.
Is there an idea you have of something that you think would be fun to do?
I mean, we could do, like, the main voices that I do. I don't know if that's
we could do that because I don't really know how to do an impression of you like everyone else.
Oh, that would be fun. Have you ever done that, like an impression of someone?
Not on the podcast, no.
Oh my God! Wait, can we do it?
Yeah,
because we talked about too, like doing impressions, right?
And voices, and yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So
I'm a little stopped up, so that may help.
Actually, yeah, it's better to get that. The nasally tone is good. Okay, so. There's a lot of, some of it is what people can't see. So there's
it's
a
the
lot
hands.
of hands doing like this.
I know you talk like this.
Oh my god. It's getting there already.
It's getting there? Okay.
What I would say is do you watch The Real Housewives ever?
Not much. I've never watched it. You've never watched it either?
No. This just had nothing to do with it. I was just asking a random question. No. There's a character that I've portrayed. So I've seen videos of her. But this won't help since you haven't seen it. Okay, so let's see. Step one, the hands, I would say. Kind of getting, I find when I'm conscious of the accent, it's when I am very, very excited about something or very happy. If for example, if someone comes to see my show I say, oh my God. Like, it's truly, even though it's not my real voice, it is
That's
more
what comes
genuine,
out.
actually.
Right.
Because it's like,
Okay.
I love that thing. So I guess like channel that, whatever makes you like,
Oh my
if it's
God.
someone comes see a show, it's like, oh my God, thank you for coming.
I've heard you say that so much.
So many times.
Oh my God, thank you for coming.
And it's, you know what, it's true because I'm so thankful. And I'll send them a message after I say, hey, thank you.
I'm Seann.
So it's like,
am I getting it?
So I would say like, think of it as like a shoe and then an on. So you
Seann.
Yeah, there it
I'm
is.
Seann.
Seann. Thank you very much. Oh, it might help to talk like you do like a little like your cheeks go up.
Okay.
Maybe like, and you make your mouth a little smaller and you say, oh my God, this is...
God.
Yeah, you can kind of like squint because I don't know, like for some reason squinting
Seann.
means that you're like yeah, you're smiling. Squinting what? Oh, what else does? Oh, so nice. Thank you for coming. That was so nice.
Oh, so nice. Thank you for coming. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing a really weird thing right now.
No, it's... Listen.
I don't feel like I got you that
I'm
one.
not giving enough.
No, you are. You're doing good.
Kind of wave your head a little bit. It's like really floppy because you've seen me, right? It's like very floppy.
Yeah.
You know, a lanky person. So well, maybe it helps to stand up. I don't know. I just wanted to say, Seann, how are you? How are you? Is
How are you?
How are you?
How are you?
Yeah, like yow.
Yow. How are you? I'm starting to go into a weird Trump thing with when I try to do the face you suggested.
Oh, don't do the face then. I see that. I see that now that it does kind of resemble.
It is not like you at all. Okay, so what's a?
Okay, so pretend I just came to your show.
Okay.
And you are so thankful. You can't even believe. You cannot even believe that anyone. You know, you posted about the show. You didn't think anyone would come.
And then you showed up.
Oh my gosh! And then so I'm Jason. I'm
Okay.
sorry to do Jason impression. Hey.
That's your impression of me? It's just smiling and saying hey.
Oh yeah, no way. No, I can't do an impression of you. It's hard because you have a very specific voice as well.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, it's funny. Funny. Because it is a little southern. Okay. This isn't about me. I'm so sorry.
No, you can do it.
You're literally
after the show. No, after the show, I'm coming up to you.
Yeah.
And it was though you or as me are coming up to me as you.
And I'm very calm as you are. I'm just like,
great
thank
show.
you for coming. Great. I mean, I'm sorry.
It's your show.
Yes, I'm talking. Jesus.
But I just got off stage as you. There you go. All right, yeah, that's
Seann,
me.
Great show.
Oh my God! I cannot believe you came.
Oh
my! To Seann's show.
Anytime. This was great. Oh wow, that was
there
perfect.
it is. That's it.
There it is. It's the name of the podcast.
That's right.
Is that why you said it?
Yeah.
Oh nice. Yeah. Oh wow. Never did I think I would be trying to teach someone how to do an impression of my fraudulent voice.
It was so great to have you on the podcast.
Oh, it was great to be here. Thank you so much, Jason. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. I don't know what else to say. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And thank you for coming, even though this is your house.
This is my... Oh my God, thank you for listening. It was so nice of you. Maybe I have it. Seann Cantatore, she's awesome. You can keep up with her on SeannCantatore.com or on Facebook and Instagram at Seann Cantatore, 2 E's at the end of the Facebook one. Links in bio. We also have a link to her YouTube page, which you should check out. If you happen to be in New York City, she has a show this Thursday at the Magnet at 10:15. It's a variety show called King of Shows, and she has her one-woman variety show that she wrote. It'll be going up in early early 2020 at the Magnet. So be on the lookout for that. Also, subscribe to our newsletter. We have a free weekly comedy lifestyle newsletter, offers tips on health, comedy, balancing life. We're doing a lot of holiday-themed ones because it's that time of year, and it can help out, okay? You want it. You want this free thing that goes out on Mondays. Just check it out. And if you don't like it, you can always just stay subscribed to it and tell your friends. Until next time, be good to each other.
The music for the theme song was created by Neil Brooks. The rap was written and performed by Nick Acevedo. The logo for There It Is was created by Jeff Prater. The There It Is podcast is produced by Jason Farr.